got it, bro.
Alright, Shalom. I call y'all, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, the great millstone who rule. Salutations to all ye Akim on the highways and byways, you co-laborers that's noising this gospel abroad on the four corners of earth, and today is the elect. We're a portion of the GMS Boston camp, and we gathered together here in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua with brotherly love, and we're the seers, right? We're the prophets, pro meaning before, side to say. We're the ones that's giving the testimonies, the good news. And when you break down that word good news, the gospel, it goes back to the good news. And what's the good news? The good news is that our Lord and Savior, whom the world isn't because Jesus Christ, whose proper name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, is coming to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, you so-called Negroes, you so-called Hispanic, and you so-called Native American Indians. All right, that he was that sacrificial lamb that was given to redeem the house of Israel, to bring us back to our Father Yahweh, whom you ignorantly call God. All right, and as you can see, was it 2018 in the year of prophecies? These prophecies are starting to roll, man. Everything is starting to come together. All right, the breaches are being closed up. The tabernacles of David is getting tighter and tighter, and you see our enemies, right? Starting with ESAU, the progenitor of the so-called white nation, on a free fall straight to hell, straight to the pits, because he's being get Isaiah 47. Because he's being exposed, man. So it's exposure time. It's time for us to get tighter, right? It's time for us to bond more. It's time for us to be in the spirit, to fast more, to hold the Passover, to pray more, to go harder on the highways, to go harder on these sit-down lessons. Because as we do that, you're witnessing and get Second Ezra, the 6th chapter. You're witnessing the destruction of our enemies, man. The unraveling, the unfolding of our enemies. The breakdown of their armies, their militaries, the breakdown of their social structure. We defeat them morally, intellectually, emotionally, and ultimately we're going to defeat them physically and have them in chains. That's right. The attention is coming on us now but we're not to let it get Second Ezra, the 15th chapter also. Somebody can read, Somebody can read the first scripture I call for.
So Isaiah 47?
Yeah, Isaiah 47.
Isaiah 47 and 1.
Yeah, because all these scriptures go hand in hand with each other. As we expose Esau, right? The only thing that could come to him is shame, that guilt, a free fall from hell, right? And then as we expose him, as we manifest the truth, what could come to us? The uplifting up of Yahshua, man. That's right. You know? Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 47 and 1. Yeah. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
And when you read the Bible, you'll notice that word dust goes back to the word confusion. All right? So the scriptures say, come down and sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon. And then when you break down that word Babel, it means confusion. That word lawn going back to the word land, which means a confused land. And you'll see, and we could prove it through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua and the breaking down and the proper interpretation of these scriptures, that America is indeed Babylon. Mystery Babylon talked about in the scriptures. Okay?
Sit on the ground. There is no throne.
Yeah, sit on the ground. There is no throne, because a king does what? A king sitting on the throne. Go to a king and tell a king to sit on the throne. He gonna look at you like you fucking crazy.
You sit on the ground.
The water, brother. Go to the king and tell a king to sit on the ground. He gonna look at you like you fucking crazy, because a king's seat is a throne. A throne is not just a seat that he sits on, but it's a token of his power, of his glory, of his kingdom, of his rulership, of his dominion, right? When you see a king sitting on the ground, like there's this saying, a king doesn't bow his head, put his head down, walk with his head doad, because if he walks with his head down, his crown will fall. All right, so a king is to be sitting on a throne, but here, right, the scripture is saying sit on the ground. Right. Where there's dirt and there's dust and there's dirt and there's confusion, all right? It's a low level, it's base, right?
Come, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Daughter of the Chaldeans, right?
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Yeah, tender and delicate, because at one point in time, America was tender and delicate, right? And technically speaking, it still is. Nobody's brought destruction upon this land, right? When you go back into the circular history, when the Germans was going about doing a war campaign, the nation of Germany hadn't been touched yet. You know, they invaded Poland, all right? They invaded Russia. They gobbled up some islands. They bombed the UK. They invaded France. They invaded all these places, but Germany itself had yet to see war, right? Go ahead, bro.
The land of wall villages here.
Yeah, I got it right here. But go ahead.
Come. O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Yeah, daughter of the Chaldeans, and you're gonna see that Chaldeans goes back to who? It goes back to Esau, the so-called white man, the progenitor of the so-called white man, the father, which means basically the progenitor of, right? Esau, you Edomite nations, you so-called Europeans, if you will, which are not actually the real Europeans, right? But just so that you can get because this is where we're at, right? The so-called white man has removed landmarks and removed names and hid himself amongst the nations. That we got to say the so-called, just so you can get an inkling, an understanding of what we're talking about.
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Because tender and delicate going back to being touched. So America hasn't been touched militarily. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2, take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg.
You see, we take the millstone and grind mill, that's some of the work. So the work that's being done is being us on the highways and byways.
Spiritual work.
The spiritual work. The prophets noising this gospel abroad, right? On the four corners of the earth. Just like it was prophesied to. And when you do this work, right? What's happening?
Breaking down the strongholds.
That's it. That's it.
Take the millstones and grind mill.
Yep, do work, put in work, right? Because that's what the Lord compared this to, a work, right? Go ahead, bro.
Uncover thy locks.
And what you doing when you uncovering the locks? When you saying who's making who's generically modifying the organisms?
Yeah.
Who's allowing homosexuals to get married, right? Who's the murderer? Who's murdering Jake in the streets? Who's dropping bombs everywhere, right? Who's causing these wars to happen here, right? Who's killing by way of sanctions, putting sanctions on countries, going back to Revelations, the 6th chapter, when it says, and by everywhere he went, death and hell followed them, and that power that was given to kill with the famine. Who's doing these things? Who's doing these things, right? So when we expose, when it says, and you Jakes know the saying in the hood, right? They can say, don't fuck with me or I'll expose you, nigga. Yeah. I'll lift up your skirt, nigga. Yeah. You know, I'll show everybody how much of a bitch you are, right? So these terms that were used in the ancient world are the same terms that we use today. The Lord is saying, expose Babylon, man. Lift up her skirt. Go ahead, bro.
Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg.
Yeah, make bare the leg. When a woman got on the skirt and you make bare the leg, what you doing? You stripping her down, man. You making her naked. Right. You bearing her shame. Exposing right? Her shame. Going back to Adam and Eve, right? That's right. What did they say? They knew that they were naked, right? And they tried to hide themselves, right? Going into what? Their sins. But,
uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers.
Yeah, what's the rivers? Huh? That wet, right? Like Jack used to say. When that box get wet, right? That's the river, man. Go ahead, bro.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
You hear that?
Yeah, thy shame shall be seen.
You see, going back to shame, right?
I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name.
Yeah,
the Holy One of Israel.
Yahushua, which is, what does that mean? Yahushua means what? He's the deliverer. The deliverer. All right, so it's exposure time for the so-called white man and you other nations, because you other nations, you guys are fucking weak, man. Y'all just don't get it. Y'all don't get that the so-called white man is the damn devil that the Bible speaks. Y'all keep running to this man and y'all just don't get it. What I call for
Can I bring this one up?
Go ahead, bro.
Isaiah Jeremiah 49 verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself.
Yeah, secret places, right? Figuratively speaking, literally speaking, immorally, you know, the Bohemian, what's that? The Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Pizzagate, what's that? Jekyll Island, you know, where they go and they hold these secret councils. All these things are known throughout the world now by way of his men. Go ahead, bro. Read it and start it again.
Jeremiah 49 verse 10. Yep. But I have made Esau bare.
It made him bare. When you bare, he a bare ass, right? Naked, man. They do running around ass fucking naked for the world to see his shame, man. Now the world knows who's funding both sides of the war, right? Now the world knows that the CIA created the Taliban, and in which created ISIL, right? Now we know who's funding the terrorists, right? Now we know who's funding both sides of the war, right?
That's right.
So now we know who the cancer of the earth is, who the problem is.
That's right, bro.
We know who started the First World War. We know who started the Second World War. We know who enslaved the so-called Negroes. We know who stole the Issacharites' land. We know who stole Gad's land. We know who gathered us from out of there. We know who spearheaded that crafty council to take our name out of remembrance. We know these things because the scriptures say in Amos that surely the Most High will do nothing, but He revealeth His secrets unto His servants, the prophets. Right now we got the secrets, and we done dropped the dime. We done told the whole world by way of the internet, like it says pursuing the Psalms. Right, that word should not be shut day nor night, and that line shall go forth throughout the whole earth. Now they getting ready to shut the internet down. Fuck it, we don't give a fuck. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Hey, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai, I was doing the work through the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. We're revealing the wicked, that son of perdition is being revealed.
That's right.
You know, we're exposing the lies and deceits of the so-called white man, who's Esau and Edom in the Bible. You know, and that's our reasonable service to go out and teach this truth.
That word reasonable goes back to what?
Logical.
Logical. It's fucking logical to go out and tell the world
That's only right.
we're the real Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of.
Well, yeah, that's what it says in scripture in Revelation. The man of perdition.
What's that?
Thessalonians.
I'm on that. I know you was on that, bro. Let him finish and we go to Second Thessalonians.
And I got something to go with Thessalonians and Job.
Okay.
Let me start over, bro. Jeremiah 49 verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself.
He should not be able to hide himself. Now we point his ass out. You know what I'm saying? He tried to hide himself amongst the nation. You know what I mean?
That goes back to that. He shall what's that in covering caps? No. He shall heap with all people.
Oh,
Habakkuk 2 and 5.
He tried to say that. Oh, look, I'm an Egyptian. You know?
I'm
a Pharaoh. You know? Or look, I'm a South African. We're South African. Or look, we're Americans. You know what I'm saying? Look, we're Australian. You know? You want to be everything but Esau. Nah, nigga, you an Edomite, dog. You an Edomite. You fit the prophecy of Esau. Give me 2 Ezra 9. Because the scripture says Esau was the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of that follow. Everybody could come to an agreement that we're at the end of the world. You could be Christian, you could be Catholic, you could be a goddamn atheist. You got atheists saying that we're at the end of the world.
That's right.
Muslim, no matter what denomination you believe in, or religion, or if you don't believe, everybody could come to, everybody's under the understanding that we're at the end of the world.
Right.
But the scriptures say Esau was going to be the end of the world, and Jacob was going to be the beginning of it that followed. So the people that's in power are who? Are the Edomites. Nobody can refute that. Right?
And if you can break it down just for those for edification,
Well,
the end of the world in the Greek is eon.
Yeah.
I believe.
A
Yeah,
time.
that's end of
It's
an
age.
age.
It's
It's the end
age.
of a time.
It's
It's not
age.
the end of the whole
Yeah.
oikoumene,
Yep.
if I'm
Yep.
pronouncing it right.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something, right? What Esau did, right? Now you have the word earth, right? Now when you read the book of if you could look for it too, when you read the book of Genesis, right? It talks about the Most High putting the waters, and he said he took the dry land and he named that earth. That's the earth, right? And then you have the word world, right? Which in the Greek is the word cosmos. But and then you have planet. He took those three words and he tried to combine them all together. The earth just simply means the dry lands that we're on, right? The world simply means it could be the sports world, it could be the world of entertainment, it could be a world. Now you have the word planet, which means the actual dwelling in which we stand in. He tried to combine those all things together to cause a type of confusion that have people all messed up. You know? So you got to understand that these are different things that we're talking about. The scriptures say that the earth is just the dry lands. Right? And then there's a planet in which you miss everything in, and then there's actual different worlds within inside this planet. That's what you need to understand.
That's right.
The truth needs to come up. Hey, it's the time that we living in. The time that we living in is for the truth to flourish. The scriptures talk about wickedness being covered throughout the old earth, and then the truth flourishing throughout the earth. This is the time that we living in. We in second Ezra?
Yeah, second Ezra 6.
Six chapter? Yeah.
Second Ezra 6 verse what's it, verse 7, bro?
Okay.
And he's verse 8, so I should like it. Matter of fact, verse 7. Matter of fact, second Ezra 6 verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
Yeah, you know what the parting of thunder is? Like what was the disciples asking? Are thou now coming to restore the kingdom of heaven? In other words, when is this bullshit gonna end? When the fuck how long, oh Lord, oh holy and true, does thou not adjudge? Give me that. Revelation 6 and 10. 6 and 10. When is this bullshit gonna end? When are these fucking maniacs? When are these maniacs gonna stop from ruling the earth, man?
I got this in Psalms 104 and 9.
Go ahead. You wanna go with it?
Yeah. Just real quick.
Yeah,
to
go ahead,
add to that.
Yep.
It says, "Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they turn not again to cover the earth."
Yeah. So there's a bound is what? It's a limit.
A limit.
So it's a block to the end of an age. What the brother just brought out when he said, for Esau is the end of the world, meaning what? The end of an age, the end of a time, the end of a time period in which the man of sin, which he's gonna bring out in 2 Thessalonians, and then when you go to Joel 9 and 24, it says the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. So what this is talking about in 2nd Ezra is, all right, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. We know that the righteous, what did it say in Daniel? The saints shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom even forever and ever. We know that obviously that hasn't happened yet. Because if it has happened yet, why the fuck is the world still wicked? Why is it pedophilia? You know, the rulers of this world are knee deep in pedophilia. Allowing laws that allow two women to adopt children. That's wickedness. Homosexuality. That's wickedness, right? So where we at?
Second Ezra 6th chapter.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Second Ezra 6 verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
Right, and there was something else before. Okay, no, that's Acts. Okay, but go ahead, bro.
Or when shall be the end of the first?
What's the first? Esau. We did a show earlier, right? Esau's the man of sin. Give me that 2 Thessalonians. Because he got the spirit of Cain on him. The spirit of Cain. What did Cain do? Cain murdered his brother. What else he did? The Most High asked him, "Where's your brother?" Cain said, "I don't know. Not my brother." He lied. When you read John chapter 8 verse 44, the Lord said, "Ye and your father the devil, the lust of your father you would do." He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there's no truth in him.
He's the father of lies.
When he speaks of a lie, he speaks of his own, because he's a lie and a father of it. What's that talking about? That's that spirit of Cain. And we look at that spirit of Cain transferred into Esau.
That's right, brother.
So his lot was to be a goddamn lie. You can't trust him. You can't trust a so-called white man.
And if I may add, they go back to being the devil. Devil going back to the Latin word diablos, meaning a lying tongue, a deceiver.
A deceiver.
So ain't no fucking red horn beast waiting in some fake place, waiting for your soul with a pitchfork. It's about so-called white man.
Because the scriptures say, "Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." Ain't no little red creature gonna throw you in a slammer. Esau's bitch ass is gonna throw you in the FEMA camp. The so-called white man's gonna throw you in a goddamn prison, you know? Sentence you, you know?
Let me read this real quick.
Go ahead, bro, let him go.
Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10.
Yes, beautiful.
Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusts, so it's
it's one thing you could bet on, right? I ain't gonna rust. I ain't gonna. Give us a portion of time, it's gonna rust.
You sit something out there in the water.
Yeah. It's gonna rust.
Squeaky when you come back.
The sun gonna come up. The moon gonna show his face. Esau gonna be wicked. You know what I'm saying? Esau is the enemy. Because enemies don't hang each other on trees.
That's right.
I ain't gonna hang my brother on the tree. I love my brother. I'm trying to give my brother life. And what's life? The law, statute, and commandments of the Heavenly Father.
That's right, bro.
The Most High, Yahweh shot breath into Adam, what?
Life.
He said, live. And then he gave him commandments. He said, "Be fruitful, multiply."
That's right.
How are you as a man gonna put your brother to death the Lord said, "Be fruitful and multiply." You doing the complete opposite.
Right.
You setting up Planned Parenthoods, killing them off. You setting up birth control pills, right?
Mm-hmm.
You putting diseases, making Jake wear condoms.
Yo,
How fucking wicked it is to wear a condom? Go ahead,
Now,
bro.
let me say something real quick,
Go
bro.
ahead, I'll be like
Scripture says, love work no ill to
That's
my
the
neighbor.
that's the spirit.
Go ahead, bro.
Romans 13 and 10.
Go ahead, bro.
Love worketh no ill
Yeah.
to his
Or if
neighbor.
you love, the Lord said, "You love me, you gonna feed my sheep."
Yeah.
He ain't say, "If you love me, go body my sheep."
Right.
Who's the sheep?
Yeah.
Get that in get Genesis 4:1 real quick, bro.
Can I finish
Yeah,
it,
you
bro?
got it. You got it.
Romans 13 and 10. Love worketh no ill to his
It was
neighbor.
ill.
Bad times.
Right. Get back being ill. All right. Okay. Beautiful. In the ancient world, it means the word Eve
In time.
meaning time and ill meaning bad, right?
Yeah.
In this term, when you're ill, you sick. How you gonna give your brother syphilis?
Yeah.
You gonna give your brother Ebola?
With just harsh
You gonna give your brother diseases?
harsh times, period.
Yeah, a hard time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gonna oppress your brother?
Yeah.
So the so-called white man is not your friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we
man.
know by his works.
Right.
The scripture talk about you should know them by their works. You should know a tree by his works, man. By his fruit. You know? You plant an apple in the ground, apple tree come up, man.
That's it.
You know?
If I
Go
may
ahead,
say something
bro.
real quick, bro. The scripture said, "Thou shalt be sold to your enemies." It said, it doesn't say your friend.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
For your
Yeah.
enemies. So the
Friends don't sell each other. Friends don't, you know?
Yeah.
Friends don't sell each other.
Love worketh no ill.
Go ahead,
to his
read it.
neighbor, bro.
Read it,
No,
huh?
no,
Read it.
I just
You got
off
it.
But Romans 12 and 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is fulfilling of the law.
And when you love somebody, you're gonna do what? You get up, you hungry,
Yeah.
you thirsty. If your brother's hungry, you're gonna give him drink.
What's the scripture where Esau did total opposite?
Yo.
You
Yeah,
got
that's
it.
pretty good.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Revelation chapter 12 verse 10, and he says, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God, of our power, and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of thy brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night."
Right,
right,
You know?
bro.
Oh, so pretty much that's what it is, man. Esau's not a brother, man. He's our enemy,
He's an
man.
accuser.
You know, the accuser. You know,
He's the you know, look what they're doing.
right.
Yeah.
He's setting us up and going to the farm. Like, see how people,
right.
see your people, man,
Yeah.
doing drugs,
Yeah.
doing, you know what I'm saying, wickedness, shooting each other up.
I got you.
You know?
Yeah.
If I may add,
I got
he
you.
is in power right now to promote that. So he's pushing that on our people.
Right. I
And
got
now,
you.
like, oh, he's giving us the bait, and now
Right,
he's pointing the
right,
finger, like,
right.
hey, well, these guys is doing this.
Well,
You know what I mean?
well, what does it say in Habakkuk?
That's what I got.
Woe
I
unto
got
him
I got
that
it right
giveth
here.
his neighbor
I got
drink.
it. I got it.
You know?
Yeah.
And then when that's do y'all know how wicked that is?
Huh.
Like we had a party, right? A kid's party, right?
Exactly. This
And there's a bowl of punch, right? These kids are thinking they just drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
But here you are with the alcohol, you know?
Spicing it.
You don't put a whole fifth of fucking
Spiking it, spiking it.
yeah, spiking it. You don't put a whole fifth of vodka in there, and then you like, look,
Wait.
the kids are drunk, you know?
Watching them stumble.
Yeah,
and
you
fall
want.
on each
Oh
other.
yeah, that's what. Look at this shit. Now, take that example and compare that to Esau going to get drugs, putting it in the neighborhoods, and then stepping back and saying, "Look, they're crackheads."
Yeah.
Setting up systems to where if the dad gets out of the household, you know, they give more goodies to the mom. You set up a system to where the mom could get rid of the dad by way of Section 8, by way of food stamps, by way of housing, right? Spousal support, and then you said, look, these guys are deadbeat dads because you know that the moms are kicking these dads out of their house in order to get these benefits. And you saying, look, these guys are deadbeat dads. That's wicked.
Murderers.
Right. Putting the gun. You
Put the
set the
gun.
system.
Yeah.
You set up the system of poverty. You know what poverty brings. Look, when you look up the FBI, this is what Esau like to say, right, brothers? Esau like to say, oh, look at the crime rate.
Yeah.
Black crime rate is crazy. When you look at when you look into the statistics of crime rate, you know what Jake is doing? Jake is selling drugs and selling pussy and they robbing shit. When you look at all those three crimes, they all go back to economical problems.
Yeah.
It all goes back to money. It all goes back to opportunity, right?
That's right.
But Jake, the so-called white man, he makes 3 times more money He's in the suburbs. What the fuck is his excuse for fucking being a goddamn murderer that he is, or being a goddamn raper that he is, or being a we know what's going on with Jay. They poor. She's selling pussy because she ain't got no money. We not justifying it because the scripture. We're not justifying that at all. We're not justifying selling drugs. But let's be honest.
Yeah, it goes back to Habakkuk 2 and 15.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead,
It goes back to Habakkuk 2 and 15.
Bring it up.
It's Habakkuk 2 and 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drinks, that putteth that bottle to him.
Yeah, you put the bottle to him. Here, yeah, drink up. Yeah, throw it back, Don't be a punk. Come on,
And maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their naked.
I give you the drink, and I'm like, look at this nigga tells you, he's a drunkard. Look at him, drink, stumbling,
falling on.
That's wicked as hell. This is what you do, and we don't care. Give me Romans 3:3 real quick. We don't care if you don't believe us, because the thing about the truth is, when you got the truth behind you, what fucking matter does it make, bro? You know what the truth is? The truth is Yahushua, bro, and his Father. So when you got that behind you, what matter? Give me Romans 8, the 8th chapter real quick, bro. I don't call it fall out. Yeah, I'm calling fall out. Give me Romans 8th chapter, because the Lord said, if the Lord be for us, who could be against us? Who could be against us? He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man goes through the Father but through me. Why do you think we trying to get there? We trying to get there through Yahushua, which is the truth. So we know we got the truth. We know it. You Edomites to come on the comment board and say, oh, you got them niggers and you got them coons and you got them monkeys and we don't give a fuck.
That's right.
Y'all you call us whatever the hell you want. Guess what? You're an Edomite.
That's right.
You're the only nation on the planet that's not promised no type of mercy from the Heavenly Father at all. You guys are gonna be wiped out the face of the planet Earth completely, and you know it. That's why you're doing all these shows of the population. Who else is worried about the population? These Chinese people ain't worried about their fucking population. Them Africans ain't worried about their population. Damn sure ain't worried about our population. We live the sea of the sea. Everywhere you go, just Jacob. Y'all worried about your population because I know you're gonna wipe up the face of the planet Earth. I don't deserve the planet Earth, man.
It's dwindling already. Pursuant to Obadiah
That's it.
18th
The
verse.
Lord said I made these small among the heathen. Oh, we only make up 8%. You need to make up 0% of the population. You're the fucking cancer of the earth, man.
Romans 8th chapter, right?
Get Romans 8th chapter real quick,
Verse
bro.
28, bro.
Go get your spot, bro. Go ahead, bro.
It says, who shall separate us from the love of Yahushua Mashiach?
Who gonna separate it from the who? Who gonna separate? Why? How? When? What power? What authority? Who gonna separate us from the love that we have? This is why we got. Why do you think we got together? We ain't asking you for no money. We ain't asking you for no bitches, for no homes, for anything carnal at all, man. We ain't asking you for nothing. What did we say earlier? We just want to hit the highways and byways every goddamn day. But Esau got us in the grind. He got us in captivity. We gotta work for basic necessities. These basic necessities that they like to brag that they give you. Oh, we give you housing and welfare. These are natural things, man. Every man on the earth is big enough for everybody to have a house. There's enough trees in the forest to cut down for everybody to have a home. The fact that you got homeless people, that's wickedness. That proves that you're the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man. There was not one homeless person in the kingdom when King David was on the planet. If so, everything would have stopped, man. There was no homelessness on the planet. There was no starvation on the planet of the earth. That's bullshit.
And it's in the scriptures.
There's enough food for everybody. The only problem is the way the food is being distributed. There's plenty enough food. There's plenty enough land for everybody, man. There's a problem with the rulers that are in power.
Yo, I got you. Can I get that real quick? Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
It's Proverbs 29:2. And it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Yeah, when King David got in office, what did they do? Everybody was dancing in the street, right? He got together the harpers, right? The bassmen, the musicians. Everybody. How many times you said the chief priest of the musician of David? Everybody was happy, right? When King Solomon was on the throne, the queen of Sheba came to King Solomon, and she thought that King Solomon's servant was King Solomon because everybody was eating. Everybody was eating. Everybody was eating. There's enough gold for everybody to be decked out. But you devils, you get the gold and you fucking hide it in Fort Knox. You hide it in fucking safes and whatnot. You hide it away from the world.
That's that curse that's on him, man. He think
That's
that,
right.
that people are gonna rob him like he
Because
was robbing
it doesn't belong to you.
Yeah.
Let me give you the story, right? Let me give you a story. There was a coat that was a stolen coat, right? It was stolen from a certain place. And I said, this coat can't be worn in this place because then the owner of the coat would see the shit and know that it's theirs, right? Right? But that's how it is when you got that gold and you know it don't belong to you.
Yep.
You can't just rock the gold openly.
Right.
But when we get to
It's a shame.
kingdom,
It's a
it's a
shame
shame
to
to it.
Come
It's a shame to it. You don't want the owner to see it. When you was growing up in the hood, right? Before you came into the truth, you know you stole little bikes and shit. You know exactly where you stole that bike from, and you know what not to ride that bike around. Even if you spray painted the bike, you still you get the bike and spray painted. You knew. So the reason why Esau ain't flossing this shit, because first of all, you ain't got the salt, you ain't got the swag.
He ain't gonna do
You
it
ain't
the
got the
right
swag.
way.
You ain't got the
He
swag.
ain't gonna do it the right way.
You ain't got the swag,
Big
man.
Daddy, cancel that.
Yeah, you ain't got it. You see, the queen, right? She have a little fucking apron on, and she may have like one little
Brooch.
yeah, one little fucking chain, right, and a little
Yeah.
diamond in it. Nah.
That ain't yours. That's why it's like that.
Ezekiel said, the Lord said, have I not decked you out with earrings and gold teeth, you know?
Everything.
Chain. We do the whole thing, you know? The Lord said you came down with a golden girdle. Ain't no golden-ish girdle or no golden plated girdle. You know, when the Lord come back, man, he's gonna be decked out, man. Believe that, because that's in our spirit.
Wait, Issachar was over here in Northern Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
They had that gold. You best believe they had fronts in their
Yeah,
mouth. They
yeah.
had big ass
Yeah.
earrings
That
in
was-
their ears, big
Yeah,
rings
right.
on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Big ass chains
Flossing.
on. They was
Hey,
doing
we
it.
eat with gold. You supposed to eat with gold.
Yeah, because it's healthy for your
Yeah,
body.
exactly.
The minerals.
The minerals, that
Minerals.
zinc,
Yeah.
you know. You supposed to eat, but let's go back.
Romans 8 chapter, verse 25.
Where was you had something though, right?
Prophet.
Prophet.
Yep.
And it says, but when the wicked bear ruleth, the people mourn.
That's it.
No, that's good. That's good. When the wicked rule, your back hurt, right? We talking earlier about how our back hurt, your feet hurt, because we're not supposed to be walking on concrete. Did you know that? The dirt naturally absorbs, and it's like a sharp. Remember the shoes where they had Nike? Remember the Nike Sharks, the boings? Yeah. The dirt is like that, man. It naturally absorbs your feet. So it's wickedness to walk on concrete. That reminds Esau of the caves.
Yeah,
That's why he plastered the earth with all concrete.
That's just one suffering, Jake. Man, we subject to payments. We got
Go ahead,
women
brother.
over us.
Go ahead, brother.
Hey, man, it's our children over us. We
Go ahead,
got a
brother.
basis of men, women over us.
Yeah, you know why? You know,
Suffering,
you know what
man.
proves that? Because you can't even whip your kids in this society the way you
Yeah,
want
no.
to. So what that means is what? Your kids is over you.
Yeah.
They
That's what it
kids
says in
have power.
Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, or the 3rd chapter.
6 and the kids are oppressors, and
Oppressors,
the women
yeah.
rule over them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Our kids, you know, your kids be in public checking the shit out of your ass, man.
I want some McDonald's.
Yeah, you gotta be like, you know what I mean? Like a fucking punk, man.
Wait till you get home.
You really, yeah. Yeah, like a fucking punk, man.